Okay, so today I thought that, I felt called to do a video, something to do with COVID-19, and just to really see what energy had to bring forward and what guidance the energy had to bring forward regarding COVID-19 and the events of COVID-19. But then as I was walking to find a spot in nature, the stump that I did a connection with not long ago was calling out to me the stump had been calling out to me over a good period of time now since I did that video. And even when I'm in meditation or when I'm just really calm in my mind, the stump comes into the forefront of my mind to give guidance or to communicate with me. And ever since I connected with this stump, this one right here, it's been present with me, it's been with me, it's been with me on my journey. So I thought today would be a good time to just really connect in, place my hand upon the tree and see what comes through. I was also thinking about pulling some cards regarding COVID, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, okay, so we're just taking a moment to feel the tree, to ground, to center in on the tree. For some reason, I'm getting something to do with sacred geometry, and I wasn't trying to pull guidance. I was literally just trying to tap into the energy of the tree, but something to do with sacred geometry is coming forward right now, and the flower of life. I'm getting turning tables, and I'm hearing the song by Adele, but I'm also seeing the Libra scales like going up and down. I'm getting that when it comes to COVID-19, it was an imbalance for balance. It's that with COVID-19, I'm hearing shockwaves. It's a ripple effect. So whilst COVID is the main focus and COVID is the component that is pushed out in the media to be the reason why we are in lockdown and to be the reason why we must wear masks and the reason why birds are dying and just many reasons many things that are happening right now within our Earth experience and our experience here on Earth. Sorry, I'm not speaking well right now, but many things that have happened and are happening right now, everything is centered around COVID-19, but COVID-19 is a big distraction. Not just a distraction, it's not saying that there's not an illness going around and people aren't getting ill, but there's always been illnesses. People have always been getting ill, people have always been dying. And it's not to justify that, okay, we shouldn't be bothered, but it's about, again, questioning why is it that when like other things were out, like swine flu or Ebola, there wasn't as much fear-mongering, there wasn't as much questioning. So, yeah, there wasn't as much questioning, but right now it's a time for questioning. We need to really be questioning what is happening. We need to really be questioning whether it is that dangerous for us to be out, absorbing oxygen, connecting with other people. Is your mental health worth sacrificing? It's almost like you have to choose between your physical health and your mental health, because obviously you don't want to catch an illness, but then again, to be away from your family, to be away from loved ones, to be away from people that support you, that make you feel whole, that really do uplift you, help you try and increase your vibration, to be away from these people, is it worth affecting you spiritually or mentally? And it's about questioning whether you are going to be affected. Are you a person that contracts illnesses easily? If not, then I doubt that it's going to be any more tough or I doubt that you're going to catch this illness easier than any other one if you don't normally catch illnesses. If you have a strong immune system, then I doubt you're going to be affected more because of this illness than any other. But the tree's basically saying to question, not just to question, but to kind of stop the fear mongering. But whilst I was walking up here, the element of fear came to me, and what I was feeling regarding the fear was that it actually is helping to some extent. Whilst fear doesn't help increase our vibration, or it doesn't help us kind of always see understanding when we are operating from fear within ourselves, but when somebody else has fear against a topic such as COVID, and somebody else is kind of putting out truth or putting out their perspective on COVID-19, and somebody else is operating from fear and arguing against it, what that then does, it enables the other person that is operating from truth to really be able to sink into their truth, really be able to own their truth, because it's not about fighting or battling somebody else's perspective. It's just about standing firm in who you are. And when these people are fearmongering, when these people are saying that's a load of rubbish, or where's the proof, where's the facts, where's this, where's that, it enables those that are seekers of truth to really stand within their truth. So there is a benefit to it, but again, it's about perspective and shifting your perspective and finding the light in components that we might not necessarily see as the truth, or see before we question. Sorry. So right now I'm asking the tree to kind of bring forward some guidance, but it's saying to me that basically I'm doing okay myself. The things that I'm saying are necessary. The things that I'm saying are beneficial, basically. And I can feel a tingle up my spine. I don't know why, but I'm hearing Egypt's coming. I don't know what that means. And I'm hearing transcendence and the movement of people. I'm getting something to do with earthbound spirits. Almost that there's been a change in the way that they operate. There's been a change in kind of their purpose, and not necessarily just their purpose, but people who have found it hard to go towards the light for various reasons, whether that's trauma, whether that's just missing people here in the physical world. But I'm seeing that an element of their purpose has changed. It's almost that some earthbound spirits are earthbound because of the times that we're going through. So when they're crossing, they can kind of see what we're going through. They can understand that we kind of need I want to say another layer of support. And it's almost like they are working with us through this time. And it may be that many of us are kind of having more experiences where we're feeling followed, feeling watched, or feeling that we're not alone. And the answer is really that we're not alone. We're not. This world is an energetic world, and unless you train your eyes, train your heart, train your eyes to see, train your ears to hear, train your heart to feel energy, then it's not going to happen. You're not going to notice it, you're not going to see it. You're just going to focus on what's tangible, what's material. And again, it just goes back to perspective and shifting your perspective, shifting your vibration, shifting your consciousness. I'm getting that a storm's brewing. I don't know why. I'm feeling something to do with like a civil war, or just conflict in the people. Because it's a lack of understanding. I feel like if there was to be a war or to be a battle between just the everyday man and woman, between like the higher powers or just the beings that be, it's going to be because of a lack of understanding, because of a lack of truth. If people was given the truth, I feel that there wouldn't be this need to kind of fight for truth or fight for justice, because once the truth is there, it's almost that justice is justice is just a consequence of truth, if that makes sense. Like when you go to the court system, when you go to court, or when you just do anything, it comes after the truth, it comes after the evidence. The justice comes after the truth, the justice comes after the evidence, I meant to say. Okay, so I'm feeling that Mother Gaia is ready to come in. I'm ready to give some guidance. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just set up and pull some cards and see what we have coming through. So I'll be back in a second. Hey. Okay. So I'm hearing like Mother Earth say that she's already here. Obviously she's already here because we live upon her. However, I do feel like I should just take a couple of moments just to go within and just to really, really feel her energy within me. So I'm just going to take a few moments just to center in and see what we have coming through. And I think what we'll do first of all, we'll pull a card from the Moonology Oracle cards just to get an energy for COVID-19, for the guidance that Mother Earth is bringing forward, and we'll just go from there and see what happens. Okay. So we're just going to pull one card just to see what energy we have coming forward for COVID. Okay, so we have two cards coming out. We have Hold Your Vision, and we also have A New Start Is Coming. And instantly I'm going straight back to the balancing of the scale that we were speaking of earlier, that I can see the topsy-turvy scale. It's almost that the element of light and dark, the forces of nature. Sorry, not the forces of nature. Sorry, I just wanted to, like, the forces of creation, I should say, when it comes to light and dark and polarity and both sides of the scale. But what I'm getting is there's this element of what we're coming into is a working together of both the light and the dark. It's not about, with this, what I'm getting is that we've been in a space where there's been a clash between the light and the dark, where the light and the dark have been separate. Again, going back to duality, it's this element that everything is separate, that nothing is connected, and that's really what we're striving towards. We're striving towards a space of being interconnected, of knowing of ourselves being interconnected with everything and everyone. And this card saying hold your vision, it's more say for beings that have kind of done a bit of the work, that kind of have a bit of understanding of light and dark and the need to work with both sides of the both energies to really become something of empowerment, of I want to say God consciousness. And a new start is coming. Again, this is all about COVID-19. COVID-19 has kind of been not a reset, but I want to say a catapult towards a new beginning. The events of COVID-19 have really caused many people to open their eyes, many people to start questioning. Not just that, it's caused people to really remove some of their trust that they've had in the powers that be, and people who govern the world, tell us how to behave, tell us who to be, tell us how to be. It's really about taking back our own responsibility, taking back our own control over our life, and we're heading towards this new beginning where I want to say people are able to own their darkness and use their darkness to really vibrate within the light. It's that I want to say up to this point, the way that we live is to hide all darkness, to hide all the things that we feel are negative, to just bury them under the carpet and not acknowledge them, which enables those things to kind of continue manifesting darkness and continue having negative effects because you're not acknowledging it, you're just allowing it to roam free. And just as we said, we're allowing it to roam free, the card literally flies all the way over there. We're allowing the darkness to roam free, but that's where we go. That's where we're heading. We're heading towards a place of accountability for ourselves, accountability for our own lives and our own journeys. We are in control of it. Okay, so let's pull from the Nature's Whispers Oracle there to see what we have coming forward. Okay, so I'm getting again something to do with fear, and what's coming forward is that with COVID, whilst there's been a lot of fear surrounding it, the amount of fear that's being used in COVID is going to help eliminate fear in other components, in other areas of life, in other areas of society, because people are going to be aware, they're going to be able to learn from COVID that fear doesn't serve nobody. It doesn't serve no one, no justice. It doesn't serve nobody in terms of accelerating ascension. And it doesn't help with accelerating understanding or overstanding. Okay, so we have clear out the old. Clear out the old. I'm getting not just that, but with this image, it's about clearing out old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, clearing out old structures, but it's also about going within. I'm getting this element of kind of a need for everybody to kind of shut their eyes and open their hearts to begin to kind of see from love instead of seeing from, I want to say, seeing from what they've been taught to see. You've been taught to use your eyes in a certain kind of way, and it's time for you to teach yourself to use your eyes in other ways. be spontaneous. So I got Blossom Hill, and then I got Lauren Hill. So Gaia is saying that times are changing. She's telling me that trees are changing and that they are emitting a different kind of frequency. I don't know why, but like radiation's coming to me. It's basically that it's easy access, or it's easier access. The channel to the trees is easier to access at this time. I'm getting that the trees' work here is done, and it feels that over lifetimes their purpose was to collect and store data until it was ready to be released, and it feels like it's kind of ready to be released from within their cellular structure. I want to say I don't know, the energy that they are emitting into the universe, into the wider, it just feels like it's easier for us to absorb, it's easier for us to connect in. But again, it's about free will, it's about choice, it's about you choosing to connect and choosing to tap into that source energy. I'm hearing to believe in source. I'm getting like beams of light and light codes. There's just so many light codes for us to really be integrated into our physical bodies and our spiritual bodies and our light bodies. And then cosmic rays. And now she's bringing to my attention nature, nurture. It's that this whole time, nature and nurture has been a debate of to say which one is it. And again, it's going back to separation. But she's saying to me that nature and nurture are one in the same, like they're of the same essence. Because the nature of life is to nurture yourself, to nurture others, to nurture energy, to nurture your consciousness, to nurture nature. And really, when you are within nature, and nature is just, to nurture is a natural element of nature, that's where the connectedness of the two is. She's saying it's basically time for everyone to stop looking for separation, and not just looking for separation, stop trying to separate yourself from the whole in terms of being different or unique, because you are different and you are unique, and it's that difference and unique that makes you connected to everything and everybody, because we all have a unique expression that only we can express in our way, and it's all to do with I want to say molecules and time, and when we was, I want to say, created, when we was born, the energy that our parents felt when they was together, the energies that they experienced at the time of conception, the energies of the universe, the placement of planets, all these kind of things contribute to the way that we express, just without our knowing. Okay. So I just said, what does this really have to do with COVID? And she's saying COVID is kind of, it's a taking away of expression. And what she was showing me was the mask over the face. It's a taking away of your voice. It's a taking away of your appearance. It's a taking away of your choice. And choice isn't just in the good. You don't just have choice to just choose to kind of do good things. It's like choice isn't just in life, it's also, I want to say, in death. And don't take this literally, but it's in the sense of you have the choice whether you want to go out without a mask. You should have the choice whether you want to be vaccinated, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your experience. This world doesn't belong to anybody. No one can tell you that to be a part of this world you must have a vaccination, because you are already a part of this world. You understand? No one should be able to govern anybody's life in terms of choice or freedom, because how can we say that we live in a free world if you're telling me that I can't go out without a mask, or I can't be around this person, or I can't be around so many people? But that's my choice. If I choose to put myself at risk, then that is my choice, and that's my freedom to do so. COVID is kind of a taking away of freedom, a taking away of choice, a taking away of expression, identity, so many things. And again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't wear masks or that we should wear masks. I'm just saying that it's about freedom of choice. How can we have freedom of choice when it comes to abortions and things of that nature, but we can't have freedom of choice when it comes to wearing a mask for a possible illness that doesn't kill really many at all? One second, I'm just going to retrieve the card because it's flying even further away. One moment. And what I'm feeling is really just literally, it's about not just questioning things regarding COVID. It's about questioning everything. COVID is also, it's an eye-opener for all of us to really begin to question. That's one of the main components of COVID as well. It's about questioning. And it's funny because even though it's about questioning, and that's what I'm feeling from energy, it's the fact that we can't question as well, because we have masks on. I know it's just a mask, we can take it off and say whatever we want whenever, but it's about the symbolism behind it. It's about questioning. And Gaia is saying, I'm listening to the wind, questioning will bring about change. And questioning has brought about change. And she's saying that your system is full of contradictions, and contradictions that cannot go forward, that cannot be carried into the new paradigm shift. It can't be carried into 5D Earth. So I'm just going to pull one card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Now, I only normally use this deck for myself, but before I left the house, I felt really called to bring this with me and to pull a card from it and to read it from the book. And I'm an intuitive reader, so I don't normally read the book. I only read when I'm called to read, and because I was called to read, I'm going to read. So we're just going to pull one card and see what comes through. I never know how to pronounce this, but I think it's the Andrian cross or the Adrian cross. So let's give this a read. I know that it represents like nature and stuff. So the essence of this card, the Adrian cross, the cosmology of the shaman. It represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the four cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom to break free from linear time. The invitation. The Adrian cross announces the start of a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seen beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. The medicine. The time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is not the time to take that leap that you have been over-preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more preposterous time. Any bold actions you take now will require tremendous efforts on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. So sorry, let's go back to it's the start of a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day to day to that which until now has seen beyond your grasp. That's basically confirmation on how it's that shift, that paradigm shift. And when she was in there, when it spoke about the gateway, again, we're heading towards a new start. And we're clearing out the old. It's time to raise the gaze from the mundane, meaning time to question what we see with our physical eyes, to start tapping into our spiritual senses, the five clairs, and probably beyond that, and really begin to work from a place of, I want to say, spirit. We are all spirit. So that's where we should be working from. Whereas we work from our human selves, we work from our physical selves. Really, everything that happens in the physical comes from the spiritual. Everything occurs in the spiritual and then is manifested into the physical. When you have an illness, it's manifesting spiritually, and then it comes through you physically. We never address the spiritual component to illnesses or to the events of the world. We just deal with the physical. We just shove not a cure, because we don't cure the spiritual, so there's never really a cure. We just cure the symptom of said thing. And it's about we really do need to be going within and tapping within and starting to really find out the secrets to this universe. Because I'm getting that many cultures have the secrets. Many cultures have secrets, but again, we're not even questioning those truths. When we get truths from, I want to say, gurus, or truths from spiritual leaders or other people that are on the spiritual path, we don't even question them. I'm getting that, even question myself. Even if you're watching this video, question it. It may not be your 100% truth that you're hearing, but there's elements that you can connect to your truth. And in the questioning will enable you to find your truth. So I think I'm going to leave that there. I thank you for joining me. I send my gratitude to you, to Mother Nature, to COVID for its learning experience. Sorry, for its lessons and teachings. Peace and love. Ashe. So just as I was packing away, I felt Roger's energy come through, and it's almost like he was saying to me, like, don't leave him out. He has a message to give. So I pulled from the Moonology Oracle deck to see what comes out, and what came out was emotions are running high, and also we have nothing will come out of this situation. So as I was tapping in, what I was feeling that what he was saying was that without tapping into our third eye, which is why the purple is represented in these images, without again accessing perspectives from a higher realm, I want to say, from a higher frequency, kind of nothing will come out of it, because you're not going to be able to see what is actually happening. You're not going to be able to see what you need to see, if that makes sense. You're just going to see what you want to see. And once you begin to open your third eye, once you begin to open your third eye, work with the senses, your spiritual senses, you tend to see what you need to see, not what you want to see. The way we've trained ourselves in this society is we see what we want to see, not what we need to see. We hear what we want to hear, not what we need to hear, not what is actually being said. And that's basically what he's saying. He's saying, yes, emotions are running high, but again, you can't be distracted. You must put in the work, because if you don't put in the work, nothing's going to come out of it. You're going to be the same. You're going to be fear-mongering. You're going to still be, I want to say, a slave. Again, that fits with him so much. That fits with his energy so much. The energy of being a slave. And I'm on about Roger, sorry. Again, we'll explain in the future. But he's saying, only you can take yourself out of the darkness. Only you can find this light within the darkness. You can either find the light or you can be the light. Because once you find the light within yourself, you become that light. So he's saying you can either go find it or you can just be it. And basically what that means, you can begin to go on your journey of self-discovery, or you can just tap into you can go on the journey to find your light, to find your God self, to find the universe within you, or you can just embody it. It's just that simple. And I know it sounds so like it's not that simple, but it really is that simple. Just knowing your divinity will enable you to be that divinity. And I'm also getting to listen to music that really empowers your soul, that empowers you from the depth of your being, and is even bringing forward even things that make you feel emotion, that make you cry, to give you such emotion that is empowering to your being, if that makes sense. There's a reason why when we are sad, we listen to music that invokes sadness, because we know the power behind actually feeling our emotions and actually allowing ourselves to go through those emotions. And again, sorry, that links back to that card again, about emotions running high. And again, to not be distracted. But it's also that energy of going within, looking at your emotions from a high perspective, using your third eye, because if you don't, you will allow songs and things and other things, just things within our system to allow you to just feel depressed. If you was down, without looking at things from a high perspective, you're just going to feel down, you're just going to feel depressed, you're just going to feel sadness. But when you are down, when you are depressed, or when just you're not in the best mood, to change your perspective can help you to see things differently, so you don't feel depressed, if that makes sense. Say you was in a relationship and someone split up with you, instead of seeing it as they've left you alone, see it as, okay, I have more time for meditation. I have more time to be able to really find myself. I can stop pouring myself into somebody that don't necessarily love me back, if that makes sense. That's probably not the easiest example, but that's just something that just came. But yeah. So again, I thank you for joining me. I thank Roger. I thank my guides, Roger and Gaia. I thank you. I thank me. Ashe.